The accident. It was a cold evening. The sky was dark and the streets were quiet. I was driving home after a long day at work. My hands were tired and my eyes felt heavy. The road was empty and I wanted to get home fast. The street lights were dim and the air was cold. I turned on the heater and sighed. My body was tired and my mind was slow. I thought about my warm bed waiting for me. I looked at my phone for a second. Just a quick look. Then I heard a loud sound. My heart jumped. I hit the brakes hard. The car stopped, but something was wrong. My breath was fast. I looked through the windshield. My hands started to shake. There was someone on the road, a girl. She was lying on the ground, not moving. My chest felt tight. I opened the car door and stepped out. My legs felt weak. The cold air hit my face, but my body was hot with fear. I walked toward her slowly. My heart was beating fast. What had I done? I bent down and touched her shoulder. "Hey, are you okay?" My voice was shaking. She did not move. I held my breath. Then she opened her eyes slowly. Her face was pale. Her lips moved, but no sound came out. I looked around. The street was empty. No cars, no people, just me and her. My mind was racing. What should I do? Should I call for help? Should I take her to the hospital? My hands were cold, but my forehead was sweaty. I had to decide fast. I looked at my car. The engine was still running. The night was silent, but my thoughts were loud. I took a deep breath. I had no choice. I had to help her. I bent down, reached for her, and made my decision. I placed my hands under her arms and helped her sit up. She was light, but her body was weak. She tried to speak again, but her voice was too soft. I could see pain in her eyes. My heart was racing. I had never been in a situation like this before. My hands were shaking and my breath was fast. I looked around again. The street was still empty. No one was coming. No one saw what happened. It was just me, her, and the cold night. I had to do something. I could not leave her there. I bent down and lifted her in my arms. Her body was cold. She did not fight me. She just rested her head against my chest. My legs felt heavy as I walked to the car. My mind was full of fear. What if someone saw me? What if the police came? What if she was hurt badly? I shook my head. I could not think like that. I had to stay calm. I opened the car door and placed her in the seat. Her eyes were half closed. She looked at me, but did not say anything. I got in the driver's seat and took a deep breath. My hands were still shaking. I reached for my phone. Should I call an ambulance? Should I call the police? My fingers hovered over the screen, but I could not press the buttons. My heart was beating too fast. If I called them, they would ask questions. They would want to know what happened. They might think I did something wrong. I gripped the steering wheel. I had no time to wait. I had to take her to the hospital myself. I pressed the gas pedal and the car moved forward. The road was dark and my mind was full of fear. I glanced at the girl. Her eyes were closed now and she looked weak. I did not know how bad her injuries were. I had to drive fast, but I also had to be careful. My heart was heavy. I did not know what would happen next. The road was empty, but my mind was full of noise. My hands gripped the steering wheel tightly. My heart was beating fast. I looked at the girl beside me. She was quiet. Her head rested against the seat, and her breathing was slow. I wanted to say something, but I did not know what. I did not even know her name. My eyes moved between the road and her face. Was she in pain? Was she going to be okay? The hospital was not far, but every second felt long. My thoughts were racing. What if someone had seen the accident? What if the police stopped me? My hands felt sweaty. I wiped them on my pants and took a deep breath. I had to stay calm. I had to focus on getting her help. I stepped on the gas. The car moved faster. The street lights passed by like shadows. The night was silent, but my mind was loud. Finally, I saw the bright lights of the hospital ahead. My chest felt a little lighter. I drove into the parking lot and stopped the car. For a moment, I just sat there breathing hard. I turned to the girl. Her eyes were half open and she looked weak. I had no time to waste. I had to move fast. I opened my door and ran to her side. My hands reached for her again. She was cold and light in my arms. I held her tight and carried her toward the entrance. The hospital doors slid open and the bright lights hit my eyes. The smell of medicine filled my nose. Nurses and doctors were walking around. My heart pounded. I stepped inside and looked around. A nurse saw me and rushed toward us. "What happened?" she asked. My throat was dry. My words felt stuck. I swallowed hard and said she was in an accident. My voice was shaking. The nurse nodded and called for help. 2 doctors came with a stretcher. I placed the girl on it carefully. She did not speak. She just looked at me with tired eyes. The doctors checked her quickly and started pushing the stretcher down the hall. I watched as they took her away. My body felt heavy. My legs felt weak. I had done the right thing, but my mind was not calm. What happened now? Would she be okay? And what about me? Was I in trouble? I took a deep breath and sat down. The night was not over yet. I sat in the waiting area. The hospital was quiet, but my mind was loud. My hands were cold. My legs felt weak. I looked around the white walls, the bright lights, the smell of medicine. It all felt unreal. A few people sat in the chairs, waiting just like me, but they were not afraid like I was. My heart was still beating fast. My fingers tapped against my leg. I needed to know if she was okay. I needed to know what would happen next. Minutes passed, but they felt like hours. I thought about leaving. I thought about walking out the door and never looking back, but I couldn't. My body was frozen. My thoughts were heavy. What if the doctors came looking for me? What if the police arrived? I tried to take deep breaths, but they did not help. My hands were still shaking. I wanted to do the right thing, but I was scared. Then a nurse walked toward me. She had a calm face, but I felt nervous. She stopped in front of me and said she is stable now. She needs rest, but she will be okay. My chest felt lighter. I let out a breath. I did not know I was holding. She was going to be okay. That was the most important thing. But then the nurse looked at me closely. "Are you a family member?" she asked. My throat went dry. I had no answer. I looked at the floor. I could not lie, but I did not want to tell the truth. I shook my head. "No," I said quietly. The nurse frowned. Did you bring her here? She asked. I nodded slowly. My hands were sweaty. She studied me, faced for a moment, then gave a small nod. The police will need to talk to you, she said. My heart jumped. I wanted to run, but my legs would not move. I had known this moment would come, but now that it was here, I was not ready. The nurse walked away and I sat there, frozen. I looked toward the hallway where the girl had gone. I wanted to see her. I wanted to know who she was, what had happened to her. But now I had a bigger problem. The police were coming. My hands clenched into fists. My breath was shaky. I did not know what I was going to say. I did not know what was going to happen next. The night was not over yet. I sat there, frozen. My mind was racing. My hands felt cold, but my face was hot. The police were coming. I knew this would happen, but I had no plan. What would I say? Would they believe me? My breath was unsteady. I looked around the hospital. People were waiting, doctors were walking, and nurses were busy. Everything felt normal, but my world was not. I was trapped in this moment, waiting for what would come next. Minutes passed like hours. I thought about running. If I left now, no one could stop me. But I shook my head. I could not run. I had brought the girl here to help her. If I ran now, it would look bad. It would look like I had done something wrong. But had I did not mean to hit her. It was an accident. But would the police see it that way? My heart pounded louder. I rubbed my hands together, trying to stay calm. Then I saw them. 2 officers walked into the waiting area. Their uniforms were dark, their faces serious. My stomach twisted. One of them spoke to a nurse. She pointed at me, my body tensed. The officers turned and walked toward me. My fingers gripped my knees, my breath caught in my throat. They stopped in front of me. One of them, a tall man with a sharp face, asked, "Are you the one who brought the girl in?" I swallowed hard and nodded. "Yes," I said, my voice barely above a whisper. The other officer, a woman with short hair, pulled out a small notebook. "We need to ask you some questions," she said. I nodded again. My palms were sweaty. My heart was pounding so hard I thought they could hear it. "Tell us what happened," the man said. His eyes were on me, sharp and unblinking. I opened my mouth, but for a second, no words came out. I took a deep breath. I was driving home. I started. My voice was shaky. It was dark. I didn't see her. Then I hit something. I stopped and saw her on the ground. I paused. My hands felt even colder. Now I didn't know what to do. I was scared, but I picked her up and brought her here. The officers looked at each other. The woman wrote something in her notebook. "Did you call 911?" she asked. I shook my head. "No," I said. I was afraid. I thought it was faster to bring her myself. The tall officer sighed. "You should have called us," he said. His voice was firm, but not angry. "But you did the right thing by bringing her here." My shoulders dropped a little. They did not seem angry. They did not seem like they wanted to arrest me, but I was not safe yet. "Is she okay?" I asked, my voice quiet. The woman nodded. "She'll be fine," she said. "But we need to know who she is." "Do you know her?" I shook my head. "No," I admitted. "I have never seen her before." The officers exchanged another look. We will check the security cameras and talk to the doctors, the man said. Stay here. We may need more information. I nodded, my hand still shaking. They turned and walked away. I let out a slow breath. My body felt heavy. I had answered their questions, but I was still not free. I leaned back in my chair, staring at the ceiling. The night was not over yet. I sat there, waiting. The hospital felt colder now. My hands were still shaking, but my mind was quieter. The police had asked their questions, but I knew it was not over. I looked at the hallway where they had taken the girl. I wanted to know more. Who was she? Was she really okay? I had so many questions, but no answers. The waiting felt endless. Time passed, but I did not move. My legs felt too heavy. My thoughts were still tangled. Then I heard footsteps. I looked up and saw the nurse from before. She walked toward me, holding a clipboard. My chest tightened. Was she going to tell me something bad? She stopped in front of me and gave me a small nod. She is awake, she said. She wants to see you. I blinked. She does. My voice was quiet. The nurse nodded again. Come with me, she said. I stood up, my legs still weak. My breath was uneven as I followed her down the hall. The walls felt longer than before. My heart pounded with every step. I did not know what I was going to say. We reached the door. The nurse pushed it open, and I stepped inside. The room was small and quiet. The girl was lying in bed, looking pale but awake. Her dark hair rested on the pillow. She turned her head slowly and looked at me. For a moment, we just stared at each other. I did not know what to say. Then she spoke. Her voice was soft but steady. You brought me here, she said. I nodded. My throat was dry. Yes, I said. I hit you with my car. The words felt heavy. I expected her to be angry, but she wasn't. She just watched me. Thank you, she said. My eyes widened for bringing me here. She added. I swallowed. I didn't know what to do, I admitted. I was scared. She gave a small smile. Me too, she said. The room was silent for a moment. Then she took a slow breath. My name is Emily, she said. I let out a small breath I didn't realize I was holding. I'm John Keats, I replied. The door opened again and the officers walked in. My body tensed, but they did not look angry. The tall officer nodded at me. We checked everything, he said. The cameras, the doctors, her statement. It was an accident. He paused. You're free to go. I stared at him. Just like that, I asked. The woman officer gave a small nod. You did the right thing by bringing her here, she said. Next time, call 911 first. My shoulders dropped in relief. Okay, I said softly. The officers turned and left. I looked at Emily again. She gave me a tired but kind look. You don't have to stay, she said. I hesitated. Do you have someone to call? I asked. She nodded. Yes, my brother is coming. I nodded back. Okay, I said. Take care, Emily. She gave me one last small smile. You too, John. I walked out of the room, my heart still heavy, but lighter than before. The cold night air hit me as I stepped outside. The city was quiet. The streets were empty. My car was still there, waiting for me. I took a deep breath. The night was finally over. I hope this session was helpful. Please like and subscribe to our channel for more English stories. Take care, everyone.